Who's better, Michael Brown or David Brooks? Can Mark Duffy lace the boots of Michael Tongue? And who would you rather have in your team, Alan Quinn or brother Stephen Quinn? If you stick around, you can find the answers to all these questions later in the video. But before we get into the video, if you wouldn't mind liking the video right now, it would really help this particular video reach a lot more people. And whilst you're here, we're in the final stretch of our quest for 10,000 subscribers, which is a personal dream of mine. So if you'd like to be part of the team, subscribe now and let's get on with the video. Lads, welcome back to another tier list video. And after Friday's defensive midfielders, we're on to attacking midfielders. Now a bit of backstory to this tier list. Now, as you know, football's moved on in the last 10 to 20 years, and it's played in a completely different way. And that's no different at Bramall Lane, especially with the gaffer being Chris Wilder. Gone are the days when you used to have rapid wingers absolutely burning it down the wing and then just aimlessly putting crosses into the box. And the last wingers that we used at Bramall Lane were Martin Wolford down the left and Paul Coots down the right. So you can see why Chris Wilder had a completely different idea, can't you? And the main reason why I'm reminding you of this is because 10 out of the 18 attacking midfielders have been within the Chris Wilder reign. Because that's the Chris Wilder way. And here are the 18 in question. Samir Carruthers, Michael Brown, Jay O'Shea, Michael Tongue, Lee Williamson, Jason Holt, David Brooks, John Fleck, I realise now that he should have been a defensive midfielder. Anyway, Kieran Dowell, Luke Freeman, Mark Duffy, Alan Quinn, brother Stephen Quinn, Ricky Holmes, Ben Woodburn, Lee Hendry, Stefan Skugel, and finally Brian Howard. Again, as always, all you've got to do is go on to tiermaker.com, type in Sheffield United, and you'll see all the tier lists I've already done. So we are on to attacking midfielders. So first up, Samir Carruthers, and he's going straight in poor. His ability on the ball clearly wasn't poor. His feet were like Messi at times. Well, maybe not, but his dribbling was definitely his best attribute. And it's a bit of a shame that he isn't more robust and direct, really, because his dribbling was excellent. It's a pity that he didn't get into more positions where he could shoot. He only scored 1 goal in 28 games, and that was kind of like a solo run that was a deflected shot that went in. But the streets will always remember the run against Bolton. Next up, Michael Brown. He didn't only score 20 plus goals in that triple assault season, but he was always a player that just got us going. And for me, he had it all. He had the talent, he had the aggression, loved the tackle. He was a bit of a shithouse, whereas he was great at winning fouls. In defensive areas and attacking areas, he was great at getting a little touch and going straight down. He was obviously excellent in that 2002-2003 season, but he also played over 100 games for us before that season. And for me, he was always one of the best players on the pitch. And he obviously went on to play Premier League football and a lot of high-end Championship football. So for me, the man is elite. Next up, we've got Jay O'Shea, and you know what? I've got a lot of respect for this man because he turned down a contract at Sheffield United in the Championship just so he could go and play regular football in League One. So hats off to him because he thought he wasn't good enough for the Championship, and evidently I don't think he is. He was definitely a bit part player in our promotion to the Championship, but he scored some very important away goals for us at the back end of that season. So for that, I'm going to put him in average. Next up, we've got Michael Tongue. And you know what? I thought Michael Tongue's best position was actually on the left wing. He used to twist players in and out, create lots of chances and score goals. That was mostly in the 2003-2004 season. And then the next few seasons, they kind of moved him into centre midfield, and I just don't think he was anywhere near as dangerous. He ended up playing 262 times for us, and then went to Stoke, where he just rotted in their reserves and just went on loan to a few different teams. But his time at United, it's difficult. I'd put him between very good and good. I don't think I can put him in good. I think I'd regret it if I put him in good. So we'll put him in very good. Next up, Lee Williamson, and I'm going to put him in good straight away because Every position that he got asked to play, he was so dependable. He played on the right, he played as an attacking mid, he played as a defensive mid. So whatever job he was told to do, he did it very well. And for me, it was exceptional in that League One season. And he's one of those players that's in that elite group of players that have scored in a Sheffield derby, and it was at Hillsborough, and it was a banger. So yeah, good it is. And at the moment we've got one in elite, one in very good, one in good, one in average, one in poor. So happy days. Next up we've got Jason Holt, and do you know what? I quite like Jason Holt. He scored 5 goals in 17 games when we weren't that good. He always popped up with a goal, and do you know what? He saw the team that we were, and he was like, I'm better than this. So he went and signed for Rangers, and as a Scottish bloke, everyone wants to play for Rangers or Celtic, so fair play to him. And you know what? I'm going to stick him in good, because in the time that we had him, I know he only played 17 games, but in that time, he was one of the best players that we had. So I'm going to stick him in good. Next up, David Brooks, and Brooksy is an absolute superstar. He may have suffered injuries, illnesses in his career, but we all know how good he is. I don't think he's shown enough consistent quality to be put in elite, and I think he's too good to be put in good. So I'm going to put him in very good. I know he hasn't played a hell of a lot of games for us, and he obviously got injured for Bournemouth. He's just such a good player to watch. And for us, there was always the Megging moment at Hillsborough when he nutmegged Jack Hunt when he came to swipe his legs. He obviously scored the winner away at Leeds at Ellen Road. But my personal favourite Brooksy moment was when I went to watch the Blades at Chesterfield, and he picked the ball up on the halfway line and just ran and ran and ran and ran and then scored. And there was just such a buzz around the crowd. Everyone was just talking about how special this guy is. And we nearly sent him out on loan to Chesterfield. How stupid would that have been? But yeah, for me, he's definitely very good. So next it's John Fleck. And I know I'm stupid for putting him in attacking midfield, but the problem is, he's a defensive midfielder, he's a central midfielder, he's attacking midfielder, and I know right now he's playing in kind of like a left-sided centre midfield role where he gets up and he gets back. Probably should have put him in defensive midfield, but he's in attacking midfield. Let's get on with it. He scored some very important goals, and he's been excellent this season in the Premier League. There's no other place for him than elite, is there really? He's probably the best Sheffield United player I've ever witnessed. Obviously, I'm after the times of Tony Curry and Alan Woodward and all these players that everyone seemed to love. But for me, in my lifetime, I think John Fleck just about edges Michael Brown. And that's pretty much because he's done it in the Premier League. Next up, we've got Kieran Dowell. And to be brutally honest, I didn't rate him that much at Bramall Lane. He's got a few important goals, but looking at his career, he played 2 times for Everton. Then he went on loan to Forest, and I've got a mate who was a Forest fan, and he didn't reckon much to him. Then he came on loan to us, and yeah, fair enough, he was in a team that won promotion to the Premier League, and he scored a couple of important goals. But again, it's one of these times where Wilder's wanted to get rid of Duffy, so he brings in another attacking midfielder. But again, that player just isn't a patch on Duffy. And it kind of proves that Wilder weren't that bothered about him, or he'd have signed him, wouldn't he, when we'd have gone into Premier League. And since then, he went on loan to Derby, and Philip Cocu actually sent him back because he couldn't guarantee him minutes on the pitch. And then he went to Wigan, and he's played a few games, and if he's not careful, he's going to be in League One at this rate. But I'm going to put him in good, because I'm going to be positive. It can be good, he just needs to pull his finger out a little bit. Next up, we've got Luke Freeman, and I really like Luke Freeman. The games that I've seen him play, I probably, just because I've not seen him play enough, I'm going to have to put him in good. But in his career, he's been excellent everywhere he's been. And again, he's been brilliant in the games that he's played this season. I would like to have seen him play more, because I would have put him in that very good bracket, I think, if I'd seen him more. But I haven't. I'm going to leave him in good. Yeah, like I say, every time he's played this season in cup competitions, when Fleck was injured early on in the season, it was brilliant, excellent. So hopefully we keep hold of him for a bit and he gets more of a chance. And this brings me on to Mark Duffy, the main man, my main man. He's probably my favourite player. One of my favourite Sheffield United players ever, if I'm being completely honest. And the main reason for that is that if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be where we are now. He's the link between the midfield and the attack. And I know you'll probably say, oh, we're playing well now and we're in the Premier League without him. But that's all down to David McGoldrick. David McGoldrick's obviously been asked to drop in a little bit to help out and kind of do that Duffy role as well as being a striker. I know he's out on loan now and he's still with the club, but the 3 seasons that he was playing week in, week out, he's been incredible. He's the link that kind of holds everything together. If he doesn't create a goal, he creates the assist. But not just that, he always finds space, always. He's just an excellent player to watch. And for that reason, he's going in elite for me. I don't care. I was trying to find reasons to put him in very good. I just can't find any. Other than not doing it in the Premier League. But that's not really his fault. They had a bit of a spat, Wilder and Duffy. And obviously Wilder's taken exception to it and sent him out on loan a few times. So, yeah, I think he's not really given me any reasons why I shouldn't put him in the league, so I'm just going to put him in the league. Next, we've got the Quinn brothers, and not much to choose from them, really. They were both solid midfielders. Stephen Quinn played a lot of his Sheffield United career on the left-hand side of midfield, but I won't class him as a winger, so that's why I've put him in here. Stephen Quinn was probably better on the ball, better passer of the ball, better at creating chances. Alan Quinn was very good at picking the ball up and dribbling with it and creating chances that way, getting us moving forward. So really, I'm going to put them both in good. Yeah, I don't think they deserve to be in very good. They definitely don't deserve to be in average. So yeah, they're going to be in good again. Now we've got Ricky Holmes, and I really liked Ricky Holmes before he came to Bramall Lane, and that to me makes me feel like he's got a bit of an attitude problem and he just don't want to work hard. Because again, Wilder loved to get rid of Duffy and loved to replace him with other players, and yeah, he was another one that Duffy was just better than. So obviously, yeah, Ricky Holmes just didn't show enough quality, and I don't think I've seen him play one good game. He started a few games, he's come on in a few games, but it's just not been good enough. I'm not sure whether to put him in average, poor, or fraud, because he's definitely not horrendous, because I know how good he is. I know how good he was at Charlton. I'm going to put him in poor, if I'm honest. That's mostly to do with his Sheffield United career and the fact that he's never managed to break into the team. He's had enough time. And onto a similar theme with the next one, Ben Woodman. Ben Woodman, not Ben Woodman. That shows how little I remember him. Ben Woodburn. Ben Woodburn played a few games right at the start of his Sheffield United career, and then he suddenly was left out and we never saw him again. A lot of Liverpool fans got on Wilder's back and were like, Wilder's a dinosaur because he can't get anything out of Ben Woodburn, and Ben Woodburn's on the bench, he should be starting, and this and other. They thought the sun shined out of his arse, and do you know what? He didn't. I don't know whether it was he wasn't good enough, or his attitude stunk, or he didn't work hard enough, but he was touted to be Liverpool's next big thing, and he now struggles to get into the Oxford team even. So for me, I'm going fraud. I am, because he was supposed to be the next big thing, and he's been nothing. We've not seen anything from him. Next up, Lee Hendry, and Lee Hendry, he only played 17 games for us, so I feel a bit harsh saying this, but yeah, he may have been another fraud. I'm not going to put him in fraud. I'm going to put him in good? No, I'm going to put him in average. He probably deserves good, but he was very, very average at Bramall Lane. He played over 250 games for Villa. Absolutely brilliant for Villa for quite a few years. Came through their academy. Again, their next big thing. Then he lost his place in the Villa team, went to Stoke on loan. They didn't want to buy him. He then came to us on a permanent contract, and we ended up loaning him out twice. Yeah, don't know really what happened to Lee Hendry because I didn't follow his career that much, with him only playing 17 games for us, but yeah, obviously just didn't finish the way he probably wanted it to. Next up, we've got Stefan Skugel, and Stefan Skugel, he played under Nigel Clough. He played quite well under Nigel Clough. I think we always knew that he wasn't kind of like going to be one of them players that's going to be able to step up to the Championship if we ever got promoted. But he was solid. He created chances. He scored a few goals. He obviously scored at Wembley as well for us, which not many people have done. And he was a bit part player for Wilder, but to be honest, when he did play, he did quite well. But obviously when we got promoted, we knew that he was going to be on his way out. So I'm going to put him in average. I think he deserves to be in average. Possibly lower than Lee Hendry, but Lee Hendry probably should be in good. So, but we'll leave it as it is. Next up we've got Brian Howard, and Brian Howard never really did it for us. We're on a slight decline when we had him, but I think his career peaked for Barnsley really when he scored against Liverpool. He played over 100 times for Barnsley. We then signed him, we had him on loan for 15 games, and then he played 15 games, and then we let him go to Reading, and he played double the matches for Reading what he did for us. So he's a decent Championship midfielder, but nothing more, nothing less. So for that reason, I'm going to put him in good. It were half decent. So there you have it. This is the final tier list. Obviously we've got Brownate, Fleck and Duffy in elite, Tonge and Brooksay in very good, and we've got little Ben Woodburn down there in fraud. I regret nothing. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video and you haven't liked already, please make sure you like it. If you are new around here, please subscribe and stay in good nick.